Hey y'all, welcome. So today's video here on the channel is all about where in the world did I put all of those tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. We're gonna make a map so that when I head back to Kentucky, my husband knows exactly where every tomato and pepper and eggplant are so he can water them and take care of them. It's been a long journey to get them planted, and honestly, who knows if they will survive this heat wave we're having right now. The real feel outside is 98. It's only May 20th and it is hot. It is super hot. Last week I had to wear a hoodie most days, and our overnight temps were in the low 40s. I think we actually got down to 40 one night. It's up and down. It's been a crazy season. Starting in January, our weather has fluctuated and just been kind of a wild roller coaster. So let's go see where in the world are all of my plants. How did I squeeze them in my tiny suburban gardening space with an HOA? Here is my map. I will warn you, I have no spatial acuity at all, and this is going to look really weird when I'm done, but it should work as a reference guide. Now, I've got my knockout rose looking just gorgeous, and flanked on each side is Prairie Fire. Something is biting the crap out of me. I think it's mosquitoes. Okay, so there is one. There is another one. I just stuck the bamboo post in there. I do need to go get some black twist ties. So they've got a lot more growing to do. Yeah, they're not getting a lot of sun, but this type of tomato does really well in this spot with my rose. Roses, tomatoes, great companions. All right, and then off in this container here by the front porch is Tasmanian Chocolate. He is a little bit small to have those flower buds on, but I'm going to let it ride and see what happens because I really need some tomatoes. It has been a while. And here's a front side view of the area we were just at with my knockout rose. And I've got the two hidden tomatoes there that are going to look beautiful. Probably going to have to prune my rose here just a wee bit and give a little bit more sunlight to those tomatoes. And then there is that Tasmanian Chocolate. And now I do have some tomatoes over here. Well, these are all peppers. These are, what are they? Hungarian hot wax. Okay. And this whole area is going to be in a future video, but I do have some peppers. Green peppers, I'm pretty sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4 green peppers. And then I've got 1, 2, I think I've got, I don't know what I got. I think I've got 2 red, 2 orange peppers that I bought as starts. And then I must have 4 green peppers here as well. My bird bath from Mama's house in Kentucky. And speaking of that, that is why I'm making this map. So when I'm going to Kentucky anytime, this will be on the fridge. My husband can just take it, come out here, water, feed, do what he needs to do. And then I've got, what is that? Think about it. This is King of Siberia. It's an ox heart. I think it's orange and red or yellow and red maybe. I'm anxious to try it. It sounded pretty awesome. He's going to have a little bit of shade that I think he might need in this area, but he also gets plenty of sun, and I think he will do fine as long as we keep the deer from entering this area and eating everything. All right, it's looking pretty crowded on my map already, but this will work for this moment, and then we can make a bigger map on a bigger piece of paper. But man, there's something out here biting the holy crap out of me, and I'm gonna have to go put on jeans even though it's nearly 100 degrees. These are really strong bites, but let's keep moving. All right, center jalapeno, what is that? Craig's jalapeno M there with the water, and the volunteer pumpkin. Also jalapeno M here. There are 2, I think, in this container. Maybe. One of them looks very sad. Remember, we were really cold last week. And then this is poblanos. One of those guys looks really sad too. Yeah, okay. And then way over here is another round of the Prairie Fire tomatoes. It's like a couple in there. They were just like an afterthought. And then somewhere in this back area, we're going to put some more tomatoes that I have extras of, and we'll see those here in a minute. And right in through here is my secret eggplant garden that hopefully will be hidden soon by all of the coneflowers that are growing so quickly, and other beautiful wildflowery type plants and flowers, and there's tons of milkweed growing everywhere too. I've already watered these guys once today. These are just Black Beauty eggplants. I'm going to go ahead and water them again since I'm out here. There's another view of the eggplants, kind of for reference of where I'm at now. I'm right here where my thumb is. So we're focusing on eggplants and peppers. I'm trying not to give y'all, and tomatoes, a garden tour of everything, but there's so many things popping. Poblanos, one of those is a volunteer. Two of those are actually grew from seed. And then there are a few more volunteers in through here. I haven't dug those up yet. I may. So we've got some poblano. We've got, this is, okay, what is this? Black gumdrop right here. Trying to collect all the cups as I go too. And there's a volunteer tomato. I have no idea. I think it's a red cherry, but we'll see. This over here is Rubee Dawn. It's a compact plant. And that's why it's just here on this trellis with, it looks like I've got some silver slicers coming up. There's a better view. So Rubee Dawn, a couple silver, 2 or 3 silver slicers coming up. We've got a serrano pepper here. Just one. That's all I wanted this year. This is Rosella. Kind of tucked back in there on purpose. This area gets super hot, super dry. It's full sun all day long. Very, very hot. And I'm hoping that grass will give just enough shade to help keep these guys happy. But for now, I'm going to water again. I've already watered all over here as well today. We're going to do it again. All right, we're going to be heading up here to my next station. I call it the Whiskey Barrel Alcove. You can see some tomatoes in this container, Whiskey Barrel planter. From this angle, you get a good view, but I'll give you another angle when we get up there. But can you guess which one of these tomatoes was planted out super early and which 3 were planted at a normal time? And here we are. We're up here, Whiskey Barrel Alcove area, and this is the container. I was showing you from a different angle. So which one? There's 4 dwarf plants in there. Which one was planted early? Well, I'm just going to tell you because they look identical. I cannot tell them apart. They all have flowers starting. They're all almost identical height. They all look pretty happy. But this one here on the far right, that one got planted out super early. I'll put the date on the screen. There was no benefit to planting that guy out early other than stressing him out. So, lesson learned again and again. It's really not much of a benefit except for one tomato variety, and I will show that to you here in a second. And this variety is Polbig, like I said, a dwarf. There's 4 in that container. I've got 3 dwarfs in this container. I don't know if we can even see them with the sun. This is called Summer Sunrise. Let me get up over there close. Yeah, there are 3. They're dwarfs. This is a yummy, wonderful, luscious tomato. I love it. The broccoli is shading them out at the moment, which may be a blessing, but I have no protection for my poor broccoli. other than the water hose that is slowly dripping all day, literally all day. I'm trying to save it. If we get through the next 2 to 3 days, I think it's 3 more days, it's going to cool off again. Behind the broccoli, one Tasmanian Chocolate. He's kind of getting shaded out as well. That's good, at least for now. This container has peas and 3 Jimmy Nardellos that are getting kind of twisted with the pea vines. So I'm going to have to work on that. Actually, it's time for these to come out because it's so hot. I don't think they're going to take it. Don't think they're going to take it. And then right behind there, this is the plant I wanted to show you. The Exception. One of my favorite children. This tomato plant. This is Tasmanian Chocolate. This is what it should look like. He's probably full grown. He probably has 1,000,000 flower buds. This is like an awesome producer. Right now he's standing at about 3 feet tall, which is perfect. Perfect height for his development. Yeah, I see tomatoes. I think I see tomatoes. Now he did get planted out super early. I'll put the date again. And he is just doing phenomenal. He kicked butt through some really, really, really cold nights. I think one night was 29. That was back end of March, early April. And then he had another few cold nights after that during April and into May even. Like I said last week, cold. Love that tomato plant. Almost forgot about this little cutie here. This is Patio Shades. It's a very small, compact dwarf. And he is tucked right in front of the Tasmanian Chocolate. I have a bunch of these on my green stock, and we'll take a peek at those in a little bit. It's a cutie. And then over here, Eggplant, Black Beauty, Red Pride. He has not been doing too well. I'm worried about him. Another Tasmanian Chocolate, a younger one that got planted late. More volunteer pumpkins. These are some red peppers that I started from seed. You can see the sprouting was a little irregular. I had one, and then a couple more sprout. I've got a few dwarf Little Prince eggplants in this area. There's another one. And then this container here, the square container, this has Red Pride in the back. And then in the foreground is another Tasmanian Chocolate. I grew a lot of them because I really loved them, and I saved the seeds one year. Another red pepper, same variety, and some basil. I do have basil interplanted with my peppers here and there. Next morning, and we're going to get started again. So we looked at all of this area. We looked at the Black Beauty eggplants, and yes, they are struggling, and I'm going to have to work on that. I planted them out pretty early, and they have struggled with all of the cool weather we've had. Plus, that area is heavily mulched with leaves and some, not compost, mulch. Just basic mulch that I bought from the Boy Scouts. Okay, so then we looked at this little side area, and you can see my spacing is way off. So I've run out of room, and now what we're going to look at today, so we're going to pick up right about here. Yep. And we've got this raised bed area to go look at, and I've started to map it out here for us. And then we're going to move to the back of the house in the backyard, and I do have some tomatoes out there. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. A deer jumped my fence twice yesterday, twice. So one of my tomatoes got topped. We'll see that here in a minute. And I don't know if you noticed, I was wearing this hair clip yesterday, but I was in the video. I don't know if it showed, though, in the intro. I just love it. I've been trying to wear it when I'm working on my tomatoes or making a tomato video. I don't know why. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just cute. It's cute. All right, I'm going to finish the coffee, and we're going to get outside. I'm just hiding in the shade. It is very, very hot again today. Maybe like 96, 97 instead of 98, 99, but it is still hot. Already talked about these guys yesterday, right? We talked about those peppers. This is all temporary. Okay. So this big boy here in the back, that is Beefmaster. He is a hybrid. He is indeterminate, and I can see he is wanting to put on some flowers already. He's probably big enough. I'll let him go ahead and do that. He's been in the ground for a wee bit, or a container. This one's actually in the container. Shishito. Another shishito. This one is quite a bit smaller. Summer Sunset Pepper. I grew Summer Sunrise Tomato and Summer Sunset Pepper, all by coincidence. And then we've got tomatoes on this half of the trellis, which, let's see. First two are, let's see if I can remember, Siberia, King of Siberia. The next two are Abe Lincoln. The two after that are Barnes Mountain Orange. It's supposed to be a really big beefsteak that's kind of an orange color. And then the last two that are not happy in the sun, those are brown sugar. And then over on this half of the trellis, the first two are, no, I didn't do it like that, did I? First one is Rubee Dawn because it is, sorry about that. I'm still trying to desensitize myself to the flying wasps and bees. You know, I had that attack last summer with the yellow jackets. Okay, so Rubee Dawn, compact, so I put it on the edge. The other edge down there is also Rubee Dawn. And then we've got, what do we got? I'm gonna have to look at my map. Lemon Boy, this guy. We got Purple Boy, a smaller one that I just planted. And then one I planted quite a while ago. And then we've got another Beefmaster. Actually, I think this is Beefmaster. Rubee Dawn, Beefmaster, Lemon Boy with the flower, and then Purple Boy, and then another Purple Boy, and then another Beefmaster, and then the last one is Rubee Dawn. Okay, and then we've got a red Pride here in the cage. He's a determinate. He should get to a determined height and then put all of his fruits out over, 2 to 3 weeks or so. Cherry tomatoes. I kind of mix things up. Usually I grow cherries over here. This year they're growing here because I needed to treat this bed for root knot nematode. All of these are hybrids with resistance to root knot nematode. I have a video coming out on that as well. So cherry tomatoes over here this year. We have in the front left Rosella. And then in the back we have the black gumdrop. Far right corner is Nectar. And then this forward corner here by me, Champagne Bubbles. And then in that bed behind the cherry bed, we've got all green peppers and basil. And then in the bed beyond that, even though this isn't a garden tour, those are my onions. They're looking rough, really, really rough. They do not like the heat either. Okay, so we talked about all of the tomatoes on this half of the trellis. There's also 2 containers. I just hit a wind chime on my head. I've got Craig's jalapeno in this smaller container, and then the larger container is another Purple Boy. He's getting really big. He's got lots of flowers coming on. And there's a volunteer from last year that I allowed to kind of grow kind of big. I think it's going to be a polka. Let's see if I can see it. It's pretty big at this point. Yeah, there it is. It's hot. I gotta go get some water. Okay, so we looked all in this area. Now we're gonna head to the backyard, which is a little cooler because it's more shady. Now we're on the other side of the fence. Same area we just looked at, different viewpoint. Cherry tomatoes are acting really happy, so hopefully they'll take off. Peppers look a little wilty in the heat, but I just got them planted probably a week ago, maybe less. I was late to the game for that, for sure. And now we are entering the backyard, and the deer came again last night. So I found them twice, this one particular deer, twice in my yard during the day yesterday, and I know they came last night Darn. I'm trying to keep this PG, but look. They topped this. Oh my goodness. They topped this tomato. They topped that tomato. These two appear intact for now. So each of the black trellises here have a tomato, and they're semi-determinates. I have two different varieties. Raspberry Lyanna and I think the Prairie Fire. So one of each got topped. My goodness. All of the roses got plucked off and eaten. Okay, so over in this bed, I've got a sweet banana pepper here. Then all of these are poblano and basils, Romanesco basil. I've got 3 of the Barnes Mountain Orange tomatoes growing here with my carrots. They ate here as well. Let's see. So I've got a purple boy here in this container with the collards. And then in this container, we have black Seaman. There's a couple of them in there, maybe even 3. I was running out of spots, so had to get creative. I'm feeling a little down right now, guys, to be honest. And then that rose, there was a beautiful orange rose there. It got eaten. A lot of my blackberries got eaten yesterday. All right, let's find some more tomatoes and peppers. And here's a new variety for me this year. I bought it as a start. King Arthur. It's a green pepper. This tomato got topped yesterday during the day. That is Rosella. You can see the top is gone. And the deer to be so brave and bold in the middle of the day really, really irks me. Strawberry leaves gone. Whoa. Well, how do you like that? She ripped an entire tomato out of the container and topped it at the same time. Okay, so there's two chocolate Tasmanian dwarfs in this container, or there were. I am going to rebury him and see what happens. They do have a determined height, so whatever got eaten off, I'm just not sure how this plant will recover. This guy back here is the black Seaman, another one with some basil. Looks like the slugs are going after it, even though I put the bait down last week. And this container has, yes, 2 glaciers and a half. That one came back from death. I'm not joking. I put him out early, March 22nd, with the other early ones as an experiment. He was totally gone. He died. And then I didn't pull it out immediately. I came back a week or so later, and there was some new growth. So he has been growing. He's a semi-determinate. You can see lots of flowers here. We'll see. We'll see, guys. I've got to get a handle on the deer situation, or I will have no tomatoes in my front or my backyard. And then this guy back in here is brown sugar. I'm getting kind of stumped because I'm like, why are all my trays down here? That makes me think, did the deer come up on my deck and knock them down? I'm going to have to really investigate. You can see a lot of heavy flea beetle damage early on. There were so many flea beetles there for like a month. I'm hoping that they have slowed down. And that is the deer who is destroying my garden in the backyard with my fence. Tonto just scared her off. Good boy, Tonto. That was a good boy. All right, so let's go see if we got any more tomatoes and peppers. A separate video about a week ago on my green stalks. I do have peppers. I do have miniature eggplants. So compact peppers, compact eggplants in both of these 2 green stalks, as well as more of the patio shades. Dwarf. I think they get, what, 2 feet tall? So I'm not sure. This one has quite a few. This green stalk has quite a few of the patio. I see an earwig over there too. Yeah. Earwigs are prone in my area to being a problem in the green stalks and slugs. Okay, well, I'm kind of disappointed, but we'll keep going. And I've got, let me see if I can remember. The cups were out here. Okay, Summer Sunrise. 2 of the Summer Sunrise dwarfs with some lime basil. And each of these black containers here have shishito peppers. No. Not a pinot. This is one of the petunias I saved as a little tiny seedling last fall and kept in my house all winter alive in my kitchen window. 3 of them, the ones you see in these containers. Okay, so Nadapinos, there's 6 total. Well, there's 5.5. This right here is the one that the squirrel broke into 2 pieces, and I reburied both pieces. The bottom piece with the roots looks like it's gone, but the top part might have developed some roots. Just gonna leave it there and see what happens. And then this next container is 2 of the red pride. You can see the growth habit is different in part sun. The one out front that was in that square container is getting full sun, lots of full sun. This one gets part sun and it's more elongated. It probably will not produce as well or as quickly within that determined type timeline. But I'm giving him a shot. We'll see how he does. I've got a couple eggplants here. Put the name, I can't remember the name. It's a new brand, new variety. Never tried this year. Yeah. And then another tomato here. This is, 2 more of the Black Seaman. Also a determined height. And then we've got 2 Romas here. Martino's Roma. With some lime basil. And 3 micro dwarfs. Alright, there are a few things up here. Some more of the Little Prince dwarf eggplants. This is a volunteer. I believe it is Purple Heart. I'm going to let him grow because he wants to. And I did like that tomato. Two shishito in that container there. And 1 more of the summer sunset pepper. This one I planted out really early and he looks pretty good, but he also had the protection of the house. Here's a hodgepodge of things I have yet to plant. They're kind of getting some shade so they don't dry out, but there are a few tomatoes left that I saved just in case, and thank goodness I did, right? Because I have a feeling I'm going to need these. And there's some more spots out front. Once I work on a couple of flower beds, I will definitely have more space to hide a few more tomatoes in the front yard. I've also been giving away to the neighbors. I have a little station down at my mailbox, and they can take a plant when they want it. We donated, 60, 70 at least to the food pantry. And then I did sell some this year to my husband's work, but that was it, other than family and friends. And this is what I've got left after, growing all those plants. I think it was like over 360 this year. Tomato, pepper, basil, and eggplants. All right, y'all, I'm back in the house to cool off real quick. Finish up my map. Yeah, I know. I don't have any ability to make a map. I do not have that skill. But I'm going to be turning right around as soon as I drink some water, and I'm going to head out. And we're going to come up with some ideas to get that deer from coming back to my yard. This has become an extreme situation. Also, I got to rebury that plant that got pulled out of the ground and water it and water everything in the backyard. But I will talk to you soon. I hope you had fun with me seeing exactly where I put all of these plants. I don't even know the total. If I do, at the point of editing, I'll put it right here. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.